To translate its student success-focused mission into action, Northwest Missouri State University decided it would launch an initiative to bring the Student Leadership Challenge to all of its students. To do this effectively, they realized they needed to instill a culture of leadership around a common understanding and language of leadership.
Historically, we've had different departments who have different leadership goals or different leadership ideas, and every single department does different things to develop student leaders. And I think the challenge we've had is there's not a common language. So if somebody's involved in Greek life and then they decide to become involved in Student Senate, or they decide to become involved in the radio station, then there's different ideas and different thoughts. And so it's really hard for some students to understand, what does this person want, what does that person want, what does this group need? And so the value is having a common language among different departments, so it's much easier to develop students and give them a holistic experience.
To help them do this, we trained 26 educators across a variety of different departments on the Student Leadership Challenge and Kouzes and Posner's 5 Practices of Exemplary Leadership model. The online portion of the training provided participants with an in-depth knowledge of the model and the shared language they needed to be successful.
I think from the leadership training I was really expecting more just, here are the practices and we're done. But really what it's become is there's so much more to it, and there's a lot of reflection throughout the process, and so I've been able to really reflect on how I'm leading and how I would like to develop future leaders or people that are coming through the process as students or professional staff, whomever that is.
We are adopting the Student Leadership Challenge for several reasons, the biggest of which is it's understandable. There's 5 exemplary behaviors that are talked about in the practice, but they're very easy to understand. They almost seem simple. The reality is they can be very complex, but if you're a first semester freshman, just moved in from mom and dad's house, you can understand the 5 practices. But you could be here as a grad student or an employee 20 years later, and you can still learn from those. You can go deeper, they can make you a stronger leader.
The 2-day face-to-face training on the Northwest Missouri State campus offered opportunities for members of all departments which contribute to student leadership development to practice facilitating leadership development and engage in activities around the model.
It has totally exceeded my expectations. We've learned a lot and got the opportunity to really practice all of the skills that we read about and we practice online just a little bit. And I think it's given us some great tools to build on for the rest of our careers and lives.
Finally, the participants were able to collaborate on designing an implementation plan for rolling the Student Leadership Challenge out to their entire campus. By the end of the Student Leadership Challenge training, they were all on the same page and understood their next steps.
For the first time, we have a model that's relevant for students and something that they will care about instead of just something that we think is important for them. We've identified something that they will be able to use and to apply to their own lives instead of just theoretically as we talk about it in so many situations. They can go back and connect these things.
Our students are our future. We're educating our future, and so our students are the answer to what we want as leaders, and so that's why I'm passionate about this. We're educating our future leaders.
To learn more about deploying the Student Leadership Challenge to develop student leaders across your campus, visit www.studentleadershipchallenge.com/campussolutions.